Did you know the most generous act in history accidentally destroyed an entire region's economy? In 1324, Mansa Musa, the emperor of Mali, set off on a pilgrimage to Mecca. He was already the richest man alive, controlling more than half the world's gold supply, and he brought all of it with him. His caravan stretched across the desert for miles, 60,000 people, hundreds of camels loaded with pure gold, and everywhere he stopped, he gave it away freely. Cairo, Medina, Mecca. He handed out gold like it was nothing. The crowds loved him. Merchants celebrated. It felt like a miracle. But here is the twist. When you flood a market with gold, gold stops being valuable. Prices exploded. Merchants lost everything. Egypt's economy collapsed so hard that it took over a decade to fully recover. Mansa Musa didn't invade anyone. He didn't raise an army. He just showed up, smiled, and gave gifts. And he accidentally caused one of the worst economic disasters the medieval world had ever seen. Did you know a former circus performer once saved the entire Byzantine Empire? Theodora grew up with nothing. Her father trained bears for the Hippodrome in Constantinople. She performed on stage as a child, an actress, a life so low that Roman law actually banned women like her from marrying noblemen. But she married the emperor anyway, and in 532 AD, that decision saved civilization. The Nika riots had turned Constantinople into an inferno. Mobs controlled the streets. Justinian's own generals were telling him to run, to board a ship and disappear into exile. Justinian was ready to go. Then Theodora spoke. She told the room that she would not flee. That purple, the color of emperors, made a fine burial shroud, that she would rather die on the throne than live as a fugitive. The room went silent. Justinian stayed. He sent his generals into the streets. The revolt was crushed in hours. 30,000 rioters died. The woman with no bloodline, no army, and no legal right to power had just saved an empire. Did you know China once had the most powerful navy in history and then deliberately burned it all down? In the early 1400s, Admiral Zheng He commanded a fleet of over 300 ships. Some vessels were 4 times the size of anything Columbus would later sail. China wasn't just exploring the world, it was dominating it. Then everything stopped. When Emperor Yongle died in 1424, a rival faction of Confucian scholars seized influence at court. They believed ocean voyages wasted money, threatened tradition, and made the wrong people powerful. So they defunded the fleet. They banned the construction of ocean-going ships. They burned the records of Zheng He's voyages. Some officials were jailed just for suggesting the trips resume. Within a generation, the greatest maritime force on Earth had erased itself from existence. Not because China couldn't compete, because the wrong men won a political argument. Europe filled the vacuum. Trade routes, colonies, and centuries of global power followed. One court decision reshaped the entire modern world. Did you know a man walked into a trap that would kill him, and he probably knew it, but he went anyway? Toussaint Louverture had done the impossible. He led the only slave revolt in history that actually won, turning Haiti into a free nation through sheer brilliance and will. Napoleon wanted that undone. He wanted the sugar. He wanted the slaves back. So he sent a message. Come negotiate. We come in peace. Toussaint had every reason not to trust it. He went anyway. The moment he arrived, French soldiers seized him. No trial. No negotiation. They shipped him to Fort de Joux, a stone prison high in the frozen mountains of eastern France. He was 60 years old. The cold was brutal. The isolation was total. Within a year, he was dead. But Napoleon had made a catastrophic mistake. Toussaint's generals were still in Haiti. They finished the revolution without him. Haiti declared independence on January 1st, 1804. Napoleon got nothing. Toussaint lost everything and still won. Did you know a king built one of the most accurate observatories in history, and his own son had him beheaded for it? Ulugh Beg ruled the Timurid Empire from Samarkand in the 1400s, but he was less interested in war than in the stars. He built a massive observatory and filled it with the greatest minds of the Islamic world. His team calculated the length of a stellar year so precisely that modern scientists found his numbers off by only seconds. Seconds. Without a single telescope. But not everyone was impressed. Religious conservatives grew furious. They believed the king was spending too much time on science and not enough on his duties to God. They found a willing weapon in his own son, Abd al-Latif. In 1449, the son led a revolt, overthrew his father, and had him executed. The observatory was torn down shortly after. Centuries of knowledge gone. Ulugh Beg's real crime was never the science. It was making powerful people feel threatened by it.